Okay, John.
I'd like to welcome you to this evening. Mark here will give us a talk on First on the Scene. There's no price, no fee to attach to this, but we would like if you can to pop something in the air ambulance and blood bank bucket if you feel it's been worthwhile. Other than that, thank you for coming. Enjoy the evening. Mark.
Thank you very much. Cheers, John. Good evening, everybody. My name's Mark. I'm a state registered paramedic with the ambulance service. Well, I used to be. I work offshore now and work in remote zones in hostile areas. The reason why I've decided to do this was there was quite a lot of stuff on Facebook about crashes, people worried about what they're going to do when they come across any incidents. So what we've done, we've put a little package together and we've in conjunction with this lot, before we start we'll do some housekeeping. Toilets, everybody knows where the toilets are. It's not a school, so you don't need to put your hand up, just go and do your business. Phones, I know some of you might have got them attached to you, but if you can have them turned off or on silent. I actually need a new phone, so if I hear one, I'll take it as that's for me. Smoking, we'll have a few cigarette breaks halfway through this. Fire alarms. If you hear a fire alarm, it's the real thing. Everybody just run outside. Forget, don't go past that wall though.
Move their baits.
And there are a few graphic images in this, so if you're a bit queasy, just look the other way. And if you're eating, I'm sorry. We had a little bit of a palaver on what we're going to call this, because Biker Down was a protected name, so we've had a little play about, and we've come up with biker crash specific emergency first aid. I've used the international trauma life support that all the ambulance service does worldwide, and we've got the ambulance services little course as well that we've combined. Sometimes it just isn't good day. This photograph was taken when I was working in the Isle of Man. I do the medic for that as well, so it's a nice. Nobody struggling at the back. I'm sorry, I've lost my voice. I've been doing the course all week. My aim to the session is just to give you knowledge, basic skills to stop and help a biker that's been unfortunate. We're going to put curtains over and stuff like that. Essential first aid skills with limited kit. You don't carry much on a bike. It's able to calmly manage an unconscious patient who's either breathing or not breathing. This has been adjusted specifically for motorbike RTCs. Other courses go through all medical conditions and everything like that. Oh shit. All we're going to do is worry about what's going to happen on scene for us. Anybody been involved in an RTC or gone and tried to do any first aid at all? Yeah. Feel confident enough to do it? Yeah. Good. So if you have a little think amongst yourselves, do you feel confident enough to stop and help? Hopefully I'll ask that question again at the end of the night, and a few more hands will have done the job. How are we going to do it? We'll have a few short theory presentations. Practical demonstration. My mate's not turned up, so I'm going to have to use Nick as my dummy for this. We go what to expect, what you're going to see at the scene, types of injury that are caused on a bike. Bit of scene management, what you can do before you actually start dealing with the patient. Working out if you're on your own, if you can call people that are coming past, or if you're with a group. Always think to remember, don't just jump in, hang back a little bit before you go in. Then we're going to do the main bit with the casualty, primary survey. That's the first bit you're going to be doing. Hopefully, you won't need to do any more than that. The crew would have turned up by then to help you. If you have to stay a bit longer, we're going to do a bit of a secondary survey, which is treating all the other injuries that you need to treat. Information that the ambulance crews are probably going to ask you when they turn up. And then we're going to go through a little bit of kit that you can be carrying under your seat that could be helpful. and ideas for you for ID if you're in a crash and you're not able to communicate. Then we're going to have little questions at the end and an open forum. Before we start, I've got a few statistics for you here. 27.2 million vehicles are on the road at the moment. Only 1% of that are bikes. But out of all of those, all the crashes, 65% of them, bikes are involved. Has anybody just done the bike safe course? Is that the same numbers? Because they change with each course and the numbers go up and down. Yeah. It's estimated 20,000 trauma incidents each year from that. 5,400 deaths. 2,500 of them are before they get to hospital. This is the bit that we can help with. 34% of all of those trauma-related deaths are due to airway problems. That's the main cause of death. So what we're going to be doing is doing the airway stuff more than anything on this. Right, you may witness an accident, you may ride into one. Somebody right in front of you might just go down. You might turn up at a scene and it'll look like the bike's just been leaned against a wall. The patient could be over the side, down the road a bit. Or it could look like a bit of a scene from the battlefield. We tried to get that telly there going, lads. Sorry if you can't see the pictures. Not much you can do for that one. Go through the mechanics of injury quickly now. You're 40 times more likely to be injured on a bike than on a car. See the state of the bike, the car, a little bit of damage on the back there. See the bike is up the road a little bit. Have a quick look at that wreckage. Think about the energy transfer on that and what it's done to the body. Think of the bike that's hit an object. Bit of a stake that one, isn't it? Into a car. Casualty of the vehicle on the road. Think of the casualties, internal organs. There's actually 3 impacts. If you think the bike's going to hit something, that stops. You carry on, then you hit something, that's the second impact. But your internal organs carry on as well. So you've got all internal injuries to think of. Types of injury that you can expect to see. Impact with a petrol tank. You're going to smash your pelvises up and you could lose some of your organs. Been to a job where the testicles were still on the tank when we got there. Handlebars, common one this one, both femurs are gone. And then you've got the incidents with further injuries when you've carried on and hit something else, especially to the head and C-spine, that's your neck, torso and limbs. Road furniture, road signs are another one that causes a lot of injuries. I think they've started taking a few of them down these days to try and reduce some of that. And friction burns going down the road. There's a few graphic ones now, I'm afraid. Injuries, 22% to the head and neck, 18 to the arms and hands, 30 to the feet, 8 to the lower trunk, 20 to the upper trunk. This one, no blood anywhere. Anybody see what's wrong with them?
It's 180 degrees out in the north side, isn't it?
Yeah, I bet, yeah. But that one there's a lot of internal injuries on him. If you go to the next one, here we go. Road rashes has gone through leathers actually, this one. About 9 seconds going down the road. Most of these are road rash ones. Leathers will help, but if you haven't got any on at all, you're asking for trouble. That's through your gloves as well, that one. Head injuries, hard to detect really. Just looking for blood coming out of the ears and nose and unequal pupils. It's going to be the signs for the head injuries. Facial injuries. That was one of those split visor helmets, that was. The that came undone and took his mouth off. It's a spinal injury. Some of them only got pelvis. Anybody know how much blood are in you? Anybody? Yeah, it's about 5 litres. If you break your pelvis or femurs, you can lose half of that into there in about 3 minutes. This one here was a snap of the tib and fib, and then it spun. Do you want it?
No, I'm good.
Repair of the knee. This is what happens without leathers. Ankle reconstruction from this. And if you're only wearing trainers, this is what can happen to your feet. It's a total degloving. If you see that on scene, that's actually classed by the ambulance service as a distracting injury. People will tend to go and try and treat that rather than the airways, so you'll die of other things. Some you can't do much for, I'm afraid. There's one, his testicles are on his bike. There's a twat ride out, look, just go straight past it. He was coming along, and that corner of that edge of that wall acted like a saw, basically. And I only kept them much forward. Been to a couple of these, where you just carry on and hit something else. Everybody alright? With them? Well, go on to scene management quickly. Safety, safety, safety is all we're concerned about. If it's too dangerous for you to go in, don't go in at all. Have a good look at the area before you attempt to do anything. Adrenaline's going to be going, especially if you've witnessed it in front of you. When we do all the racing in the Isle of Man, we're always told to stand back for at least 30 seconds, let the dust settle before you go in. No matter how appealing you think it is or how safe it is, double check. This one here, you might want to go in quite quick and help her. Another bike could come straight over the top. This is all we're doing, just helping the casualty until the ambulance service turns up. A few little hints and tips here. Stop the bike, park where you think it's going to be safe. If it's on a bend, go back a little bit. Just remember, if there's 2 or 3 bikes, all the better. Make a bit of a wall. Turn your hazards on. Not all bikes have got those. So if you have, all the better. Ensure the scene is safe. If it's not, when you call the emergency service, you say you want the fire service as well, they can help with that. They're pretty good at that. Any other vehicles that you come across there, cars that people have got out, if they've left their cars running, turn it all off. Anybody that doesn't want to get involved with the actual patient, you can get them out doing traffic duties, keeping people away. Too many people can hinder the scene. Moving casualties. Anybody done a first aid course? We've been told don't move the casualty. Sometimes you're going to need to pull them out, especially if there's a fire going and the hazardous materials. It's impossible to protect that patient. Maybe a busy road, so you get them off the road. And if they're stuck underneath a bike or underneath the car, you're going to have to get them out. you're not going to be able to get to that airway. So protect the casualty's neck and spine as much as you can, but life comes over limb. And if you're going to have to drag them out, you're going to drag them in the direction of the long axis. And then if they're face down, you're going to have to get them rolled over. We'll do a practice of that in a little bit. A lot of people forget to call 999. Serious situations, call them straight away. It's always best to err on the side of caution. They'd rather have 2 or 3 phone calls rather than none at all. When you call them, they'll ask for your name, phone number, your location, what's happened, number of casualties, might be more than one, and any special conditions, might be one in the fire service. Condition of the casualty. Once you're satisfied it's safe to do so, critical care, life support is effective only if it's started immediately. The ambulance service will rely on us to do some work. Once they've got the information, don't forget they've still got to get there. Don't know where they're coming from. This is a little phrase that I've got from the book. Basically that's saying a little bit of treatment's going to determine if that patient survives or not, and we're going to help them out. 1844 is when they first started realising this. This is going to be the nitty-gritty part of the patient. We call it primary survey. This is going to take a couple of minutes. This is what's going to save their life. If you have to stay there a little bit longer, we'll go on to the secondary survey. But this is what we're going to go through tonight, mainly. So you can assess the danger. Check the response of the patient. All we will need to know if they're conscious or unconscious at this stage. Again, call for help. You want as many hands as you can with the patient initially. Catastrophic bleeding. This kills a lot of people as well. There's no point doing CPR on anybody if they're bleeding like mad. Again, so you've only got 5 litres inside you. That'll go in 90 seconds. So you've got to be on scene and quick with this one. We'll go through that in a minute. C-spine. Again, take as much care as you can on that, but you're going to be moving around. Airway. You're also told on first aid courses not to take helmets off. I'm going to show you how to do it properly, because you need to get to that airway to save those lives. Bit of breathing. If they're not, you'd start CPR these days. You don't have to fill them out with pulses or anything like that. If they're not breathing adequately or not properly, you go straight into your CPR. I've got plenty of mates around here to help you with that in a minute. Circulation, that's your actual CPR. If you're lucky enough to get them back, then we do a quick disability, that's level of consciousness. Thinking where you are, you're going to need to cover the patient up with something just to protect them from the elements, so you can have a good look at them. May sound hard, but this is my last class. Real quick. Everybody happy with that so far? We'll go through each one stage by stage now, and we'll use Nick to demonstrate with me. Then we'll have a little break, and then everybody's going to have a go. So we've checked for danger, checked the response. There's nothing of danger there, no response to the person, and you've called for help. So now you're going to go into check. You're not going to miss this. You ain't going to miss this at all. So, like I said, you can bleed out within 90 seconds. So what kit do you think you've got that you can use for this? How do you think you're going to do it?
Anything.
Yeah. You've got direct pressure first to try. Hands straight on that wound and press. It's a real hard press. I've just come back from the course where we've been using, not humans, but live pigs we used, and they actually cut the femoral arteries, and you've got 90 seconds to stop that bleed, and it's hard work. So if you're using direct pressure, say you've got the wound here, hand on, and it's got to be real pressure, real hold tight. If that's still leaking, what do you think you do next? Tourniquet, yeah, they've got rid of indirect pressure these days. People are finding the arteries, can't get into there, still bleed. So they're advocating tourniquets now. There's no history, there's no record of anybody losing a limb through putting a tourniquet on. Used to be able to take them off for 15 seconds, then back on for 15 minutes. Now, once it's on, it stays on. This has all become due to Afghanistan, basically. The soldiers now are wearing tourniquets when they go out on patrol, so they can put them on themselves. They're carrying these bits of kit. It's called the Combat Application Tourniquet. I'm sad I wear it. I've got one underneath my seat. But, what we do is just put these on. There's my strap. So you've got to fluff around doing this all in the 90 seconds. Pull it tight and then just wind. See what I mean? And just wind that. And it's going to hurt them. But some of the lads that we've dealt with have been pleading with us to take these off. So as soon as you take it off, they're going to die. How's that feel, Nick?
It's hurting.
It's hurting. Not everybody's going to be carrying anything like that. So, any ideas what you've got on you that you can use? Yeah. You got these? These are good. You put the. I'll undo this one first. No problems. No. So got that one. Yeah. Just put this on. I've got a pen in my pocket. Oh, funny enough. Wherever you've got, and just start winding. That should have the same effect. That's starting to hurt. Hook that underneath. That should hold it. This is only good really for upper part of your limbs. You've got two bones there. What you're going to do is just break those bones if you do it that tight. The artery runs along that main. Right. Later on you'll be split into groups and you can all have a little practice of that. I've got a load of triangulars that you can use. Towards me. Only one rule we're saying with that is just stop that bleed. Yeah, like I said, with the direct pressure, and if that's not working, consider a tourniquet. And like I said before, don't worry about all the other injuries there at the time. They're what we call distracting injuries. They can be treated later on. C-spine, like I was saying, you're going to have... Nick, do you want the helmet on again, please? No, I don't think for this one. Stick your head in the right way. Okay, so we're going to have to get somebody out.
Big helmet.
You'll have to get somebody out from under a bike, so you're going to worry about that C-spine later on. Oh, he's been on. You could go face down if you wanted. Just come in, like I said, grab his boot, pull it out. That'll do for now. Then you might have pulled him out like that, so you're going to have to get him rolled over. Have a couple of helpers a minute. Two of you just to help. If you're going to have to roll them, you roll them away from where they're facing. So he's looking that way for you, boy. What we're going to do, you just get some helpers in and just tell them, what I want to do is going to roll him over onto his back. And you place their hands where you want them to go. So you put one hand on the shoulder and one there on his hips. If you come in close, cross your arm over and put there, and the other one on the knee. Then you have one person by the head. All the control is done from whoever's at the head. So any speed or anything's done without knocking. Right, so what we're going to do, on 3, we're going to roll him. Okay? When I say stop, stop. Okay, on 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm controlling that C-spine as best we can. And stop there for a second. I'll just change my angle. And then 1, 2, 3. We've got him down. So now we've got him over, which was happy with that? Stay there for a minute. Just take this one.
What do you do if you're on your own?
On your own, you just got to roll. Like I said, life over limb. So you can prevent the movement as much as you possibly can on that. Neutral alignment, like I said, as straight as you possibly can with him. Preserve life over limb. Then we go on to the airway. This is where we say 34% of deaths are caused by the airway obstruction. I can't see that airway with that helmet on, so we're going to have to get that helmet off. So what we do, we'll show you how to do the helmet removal. Nick, you want to come down a little bit further when it comes to that way? All sorts of different types of helmets. Some have got little clips that takes the liner out. Some have got open face ones and everything like that, so they're all easier. With a full face, what you're going to do is get someone to put it on here. You get them just to put their hand on their head, just stay like that for a minute, just to keep it straight. Right, so that's helping to protect. You want to see over there? You want to move around if you want to see. I know, yeah. What you want to do then is check that he's not got any glasses on. If he has, take them off. So we'll take that out. And check that the strap's all undone. If you can't, just get your scissors out and give it a cut. Or best you can. Again, with this, you're best telling somebody how you're going to do it. And then showing them so they know what they're going to do. So if I have you holding that for me, what I want you to do is when I move in a minute, come where I am, put one hand onto the chin and hold there, and the other on the back of his neck. As I remove the helmet, I want you to slowly slide your hand up to the back of the head. Okay, when the helmet comes off, there's going to be a gap. Don't let that head drop. Just hold it still. Alright, we'll go as far as that. Okay, right, I'll take over from you. Thank you. I'll move to where you are. The idea is to do this as slowly as you possibly can. So you've got the nose to think of, the forehead and the back of the head. Alright? So what we're going to do is try and loosen it as much as you can. Right, if you get your hands in. Tell me when you've got a good grip. Helmets are quite pliable, so you just get your hands in underneath there and pull it as wide as you can. And then you do a slow rocking movement over the nose and then under the back of the head. Alright, you're moving that hand up. Then rocking and rocking. There we are, and we're off. You've got big nose, mate.
Sorry.
Right, I'll take over. Thank you very much. And then just lower the head gently to the floor. Happy with that? Can you see it again?
So it's a two-man job minimum.
That's a two-man job. There is a single-man way of doing it. I'll show you that quickly. It's preferably with two, really. But if you're on your own, you have to get the helmet off. I'll show you how to do it. Lift your back on here. Right, single man job. Again, helmet, visor off. Glasses off, should he have any on. Undo the strap. You can actually sit like that so your knees are holding that head a little bit. So it's the same principle again. hand into the sides and good grip. Up, over the nose, and to the back. And rock again. When you get to that far, you then put your hand into there, so your other hands can then go underneath. And you use that just to pull the helmet off. There. And then, so it doesn't drop, you can put bag underneath.
Where was your left hand on the helmet then?
It was inside.
Inside?
Yeah. When I pulled it off far enough, I put my hand inside there. Then so you've got control to pull it off. The other hand's underneath. You all get it down, plenty goes in a minute. Yeah. Hopefully everybody's got some spare helmets to play with. All happy with that so far? This is going through slowly, you'll see in a minute at proper speed. Right, once you've got it to that position, you've got to look into that airway and have a look. Medically they teach you the head tilt, chin lift to open that airway. Trauma, you want to again protect that C-spine as much as you possibly can. So, I'll give you a bag back. We've got what's called a jaw thrust. Basically what that is your fingers are pointing down the body and you hold it around the ears. So your two first fingers are on the base of the jaw, where it starts to bend there. Just put your fingers in there and push up. Should open. There we go. We've got the airway open. There we go. I'll do that one again. In there and press with the jaw, and it automatically opens the. So you've got a good airway there now. Might even be blocked with the tongue ending it. Teeth, blood, all sorts will be in there. So you're going to try and sweep all that out. So you get your colleague that's with you. Do you want to come near next to me? If you come this side so you can see what's going on. If you put your hand on the chin there like that, and then put your other hand on the forehead. He's taken over from me now. I can then finger sweep anything out that's in there. So what's been in there? Yeah. So you cleared that airway now. So that's your main bit done. Right, I'm going to check for your breathing now. You go, good look, listen and feel for this. You can have a look to see if that chest is rising. You can put your head down by his mouth there and just feel if there's any air. This is quite hard outside, to be honest. All the wind about and rain. The best way to do it is for a chest rise. Don't do that for any more than 10 seconds. And again, here we go. What we're saying now, this is helping a lot of people out, is if there's no breathing, don't go to any pulse checks or anything like that these days. Straight onto the chest to do CPR. A bit of the old CPR going now. All right, Nick, thanks very much, mate. I'll need you again in a minute. I'll use the English one, not the Cornish one. When you're going to do CPR, you're going to push down 5 to 6 centimetres. Quite a depth that is. You're going to break ribs when you do it. Don't worry about that. They can repair ribs. And it's at a pace of 100 to 120 a minute now. That's 2 per second. Everybody seen the Vinnie Jones advert for it all? Brilliant. Do it with 2 hands. Right in the centre of the chest, right between the nipples. If you're willing to, you can do rescue breaths. You don't have to these days, all they just say is hands only CPR, but if if you're an advanced medic or anything like that, you're automatically going to do airway anyway, and you're going to do the breathing. So if you're going to do it, you're going to pinch the nose and put a good seal around the mouth. One breath and a second, then get up, get your breath back, and then do one more. Take no more than 5 seconds for that. And watch for that chest to rise when you do it.
We have 2 people, they still do
2 people, one's doing the compressions, one's doing the breathing. And then you can swap around every 2 minutes.
How many compressions per breath?
30 to 2, which is on here now. There we are, 30 compressions to 2 breaths. And you're going to carry on with that until casualty suddenly shows signs of life, somebody else turns up, or you're too knackered to carry on. And it's hard work pressing that deep and that long for that long. So what we're going to do, find the nipple line, interlink your hands together, and you're going to rock rather than push with your arms. Next. That's quite deep, you can feel that. And then you do your 2 breaths. I don't know if this one's working. I haven't got a thing in the back of it. Watch for that chest to rise like that. Those dummies there that you'll be playing with, they do rise if you have to do it. 30 to 2. If you miraculously get them back again, you get a pulse in your breathing, you do a quick disability check. This is a level of consciousness basically, nothing too clever about it at all. People talk about Glasgow coma scales and stuff like that. We're not interested in that. All we're interested in if they're alert, when you're talking to them sitting around, highly unlikely. Or if they're only responding to voice and they're lying there with their eyes closed, you speak to them, they'll talk back to you. If they only respond to pain, so they'll only give them a pinch or anything like that. Or they remain totally unresponsive. Again, then you're going to go to your expose and examine if you're lucky enough to get them back. We'll cover that in the secondary survey. Secondary survey, if the patient's breathing, you're going to keep an eye on that, and then you're going to check the patient for any other obvious signs of injury. Systematically start from the head and slowly work yourself down to the toes and treat any injury as you go in. If there's no obvious injuries and the patient remains unconscious, you're going to place them into the recovery position. Again, C-spine, but to get them over there, stop any bleeding or anything coming out of the mouth. Everybody happy with the recovery position? Nick, if you want to lie down on your back again, sir. If your face come over here. The smallest person in the world can turn the biggest person in the world with a recovery position. It's all to do with where you put the knee. So basically, you're going to put one arm up there, bring this knee up. Don't worry if it's broken or anything like that. You dig in with that ankle, so you'll feel the breaks and get it up as far to the backside as you possibly can. Grab the arm that's opposite, interlink with your hands. You can use that as the pillow. And then you just got your little finger to turn them. Take your hand out.
Do that if it's not neck injury,
Yeah, if there's no obvious injuries at least, then like I said, if there's a C-spine, you're still going to have to turn them around like this. If they're going to constantly bleed into the mouth and stuff like that, you're going to be constantly cleaning it out, so you can just let it drain. The neck is still in quite a good spinal alignment there.
Well, you need to be breathing to do that.
Needs to be breathing to do that, yeah. If you don't, when you work your way through each one of those, if you can't control it, you just stay at that point before you go any further. Appropriate treatment. This is the other things you're going to be dealing with as you're going down through the body. Grazes. Again, you're not much with you at all, so you can be using t-shirts, anything like that, just to cover them up. Bruising, it's a bruising, you're not going to have any issues with that. Lacerations, if you're carrying a little first aid kit, dress the best you can really. Fractures, again, you're not going to be able to do much with that while you're on your own on the road there. Chest injuries, sucking chest wounds, these are a big one, you won't miss these. Flailed chest is when they've broken quite a few ribs at the same time, and you'll see that when they take a deep breath in, the chest will go the opposite way where it's broken. And again, when they breathe out, it'll go the opposite way. Pelvis, you'll see that the legs will be splayed right out when you turn them over. Burns, this is all changing again. They used to say put wet dressings on, but they've gone back to dry, sterile dressings now. So anything dry, just to cover them over to prevent the infection. Information you're going to need to give the crews when they turn up. Little mnemonic here. You're going to give them the age of the casualty if known, and their name, time of the incident or time you got there, mechanism of injury. So you've had a quick look around before you got there and worked out what the possible injuries could be. Tell them what you think. What injuries you've seen to the patient from head to toe. What was wrong with the patient? So you had a blocked airway and they weren't breathing. And then what you've done with it. So at missed. Remember that? Or just missed. Don't worry about the age and time. All happy with that so far? Quite a lot to take in there, but you're going to have practice in a minute. Yeah. Right. We'll have a little fag break, little tea break, then we're going to come back, and this is going to be what you're going to be doing. We're going to split into 6 groups. I don't know how many we've got, 5 or 6 of each group. You're out on a twat ride out. You go from Tor Point up to here. The group gets split up. As you're going through the twisties, you come across bike wreckage on the left hand there. There's skid marks across to the central line, and the bike is in the bushes. You see a biker face down about 30 metres away. What are your next actions as a group? So get a quick cup of tea, have a fag, then we're going to split into the groups and we'll be doing this. This is where you can practice. I'll leave that up. That's the order you're going to be doing it. I'm going to be walking around, we'll get Nick walking around, just to show you how you can practice doing the helmet removals, put the tourniquets on, and some CPR. Happy with that? Yeah. Yeah. Go on then. Yeah.
I'll be back. Come on, brother. Yeah. Oh, right, here we go.
I hope whoever has a crash has got a helmet that fits them properly, eh? I think he needs medical help now.
See, this is what the training's making. See, hold on by the chin, but it didn't seem to.
That's hard work taking that.
My actual helmet, I'm tighter than that.
I didn't help. That's what it's called on his.
I've got the same thing on
Has it got the detachable cheek pads?
On my helmet alone, it's got 2 slots very full.
Yeah, the cheek pads come out and then it just slides off.
So a better helmet.
Someone was full there.
Oh, that goes down there.
You're supposed to flirt when you're finished.
You're like going forward.
Just like that, was it?
Oh, you have to hold hands. You hold hands like that.
No, it was doing you own.
Except for you're supposed to hold my hand, keep it the same thing.
Oh, right.
You interlock your hands with his like that. That's it, and then put it against his cheek.
And then one hand on top of my knee, so on top of my knees you get leverage. That's it, and over you go. He's doing one finger, doing it, and he's going.
The back of the helmet, you go into a right side that way, slide it along with the helmet. Bring it back in the helmet.
Then you load his head.
That's where he said. Can't bring it in.
When you're sort of using your knees as well as a bit of help there like that. So that's still holding. Same as what you do with the two. Fingers in there, prise the helmet open, and start doing what you're doing before.
I'm using the back of the helmet to express the edge.
Yeah. So, pulling apart. And then when you've got enough space, you do the goes, get your hand in there, under there, and you pull the rest of the helmet off, up over the nose. The heads are quite heavy. You can either put something underneath the head, or just lower it down.
So even though you think they've got a neck injury, they still put the head down.
Yeah,
Straight.
the force of the neck comes up, technicality back here, you've got the first spot. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then once you have to do your breathing and heart rate. If he's not breathing 9 times a second, that's gone. So you've got the helmet off now, there in that position to do. Yeah, you never want to penalty.
30, 2 breaths. Then you do the breaths, from what position you're in. Hold the nose. Go on, get the breaths.
I'm saying that I'll do carry
Right, yeah.
You're supposed to laugh, you're supposed to laugh.
When you go for the breaths, think you see it. Take that. So breathe in his mouth. When he's going to exhale, it's on your head sideways. You can't clear it out and you're looking
Yeah, that's quite easy actually. You have a go?
There's got to be a technique to it.
reps, action, you yell and stuff. He's just grabbing the tip. See, these courses you can do it for 2 minutes and then stop. But in real life, you just don't stop. You never run out of energy. Check for water. That's 3 rounds. Once you've got yeah, you can tell people. So I'll be on the phone to the ambulance, and I'll be on the phone to emergency services, and you'll be telling me exactly what's going on, exactly what they're doing, and I'll be passing that information.
It's uneven then.
It's awesome.
Ellie will be all over him when he gets there.
Alright, just a little bit of information there is going to help save somebody. I'll give you that up there just so you can follow it if you wanted to. You might be doing this for a bit of a while because the ambulance crews could be off doing other sorts of real important jobs, like this one.
How are you feeling?
How do you think I feel? You're stupid cold, haven't I? Thanks a lot.
Well, darling, you should have said something. I could come down and make you some soup.
I called for you. I said, Laura. You didn't come. So I dialed 999.
What?
Where is he? Quickly, love.
Okay, son, everything's going to be fine.
I'm gonna die.
I think we can help.
My head's so burning. How did this happen?
He caught the cold off me.
Just don't think deep.
I'm a bit confused. Hasn't he just got a cold?
For God's sake, woman, he's a man. He's got a man cold. Do not, under any circumstances, move from this bed, okay? You, take this bell. When he rings it, I want you to come to him and rub his head and say, poor little bunny.
Poor little bunny.
Okay, that's good. Let's go. There's a man on Cancer Avenue with a hurting knee.
Sorry, what about me?
What?
Well, I've got a cold too.
Have you not heard of Lancet?
Laura, I want some soup. And I want to watch CBeebies.
That's why there's a bit of a delay with the ambulance coming to you. Or you might get a nice looking bloke on his bike to come and get to you. If you're very unlucky, you're going to get his twin brother. You look quite young on that, don't you?
Yeah.
And if they're not doing jobs with men with man flu, the other crews are probably out there stuffing their faces. I don't know if they're even there. Darren? He should have been here tonight. This would have been a corking one for him. He's quite renowned for eating, even in A&E.
And dropping his bike.
And dropping his bike.
Training.
He even sits in the ambulance and stuffs his face on road jobs. If you come round and you smell chips, you know it's Darren that's been out to you. That's wasted now because he hasn't turned up. We had a call about 5 minutes ago saying I've got chips.
It's all the food he eats.
I know, yeah. Right. Like we said, you've not got much kit at all on a bike. You haven't got the luxury of a boot to have all sorts of medical kit in the back if you're inclined to carry stuff around. What I didn't say at the beginning purposely for this is you're going to be there's going to be blood, guts, snot, everything everywhere, so you're going to try and reduce your risk of infection. So the basic stuff you can carry with you is blue gloves. I've got boxes of them here if you want to take some when you leave. Good idea to keep them in is the inside of a Kinder Egg. I've had to eat a Kinder Egg tonight.
Oh, you poor thing.
It's alright, it's alright.
And exactly where do you keep that when you're eating?
Oh, I don't know. I've saved you the toy anyway, there you go.
Oh, no.
No, I've got one here. That was supposed to be for Darren.
Scrambled Kinder Egg.
These are handy, keep them in your pockets, under your seat of your bike, whatever. Just pop them out and you've got a pair of gloves in there. So if you want to take some gloves, sorry that was only one egg. But, if you've got a little take bag or whatever, just fill it up. If you're going to do CPR and stuff like that, it's worth getting a little face mask. They're 99p. Keep it on your keys. They open up. You put a little guard across the face. Can I open yours, Nick?
Yeah. Just get another one.
I've got one that I carry in my jacket.
You get your loads of these and get those. We can even get type written on them if you want. That just covers the face up. They're not going to spit back at you. Just breathe in through that. Yeah, if you're going to give that. You can also keep the gloves in there as well as the face mask. So I can get a load made up for you if you want them. They're about 99p. Saves a life. That saves you. Well. £1.50 in the camping shop. One of those neck cushions. So when you've taken the helmet off, you can slide that underneath and you're helping to protect that airway as well. Yeah, £1.99 each. Space blanket. Again, for when I said when you expose the exam, if you get that far, bit of protection for the patient, just wrap it around them. And you as well. I've got all that whittled down. Something that size. You can actually buy a kit. You've got one, Nick, haven't you?
Yeah.
Nick carries this in his pocket. But there's posh masks and all sorts you can buy out there. Again for the CPR. Just opens straight up and you got it on there. And then you go down through that. Oh, and another way to tell if a biker's really unconscious, what would be your pet hate?
Try and cut through his levels.
Yeah. What we used to do to girls in nightclubs, you know, they had an argument with their boyfriend and they go and faint. Somebody calls an ambulance and they go, oh, better stay unconscious. So when we turn up, the way we do it is we pick their hand up and just put it over the top of their head and let go. And if they're faking it, the hand's going to something. And blokes. If they're truly unconscious, they'll just put themselves
I
there.
honestly thought you were going to say cut their dress off.
If you go to a bike,
I'll not be a paramedic now.
just get a pair of these out. They'll soon come round, I'll tell you. If you're on foot, I'm not going to show you anything else. If you're on foot, I always wear a little ice cream. You can put it in their mouth as well. Just move the tongue back a bit. Have a little look. If you're unfortunate enough to come off a bike, how's anybody going to know who you are if you're unconscious or anything? Anybody got any tags or anything?
Yeah, I've got a green dot.
You got a green dot?
Yeah, I've given loads
How
of
many people know about the green dot? They're brilliant. There's a little card you put inside your helmet with all your details.
From the Devon County Council.
That's right, yeah. That's right. It was a paramedic that actually started that, and he's in BE now for doing that. Little dot on the side of the helmet. We look for a little green dot. We know there's some information inside. People have got all these ice things on here, but if your phone's smashed up, it's not going to work.
I've got a nice sticker on my visor. Actually, not the visor. I forgot to make, 'cause that's hilarious.
Jan's got one on the front of his bike.
Problem is, there's just no publicity on
I was
it.
going to say you've got one of those. I've got one of those as well. That's Carl Fogarty's doing these ones. It's a little. If I get you to hold that helmet. Well, it's got a little barcode. The police and ambulance service have all got posh phones because they nick off people like these dudes. But if you've got a barcode reader, we'll just pick up the helmet. We'll always look at the helmet anyway, see any injuries on it. Just pass over that barcode. Where is it? There we are. Open.
Is this you up there,
It's going to come up with the
everything
details
that you
of the
put
customer.
online will come up. I've got my driving licence, my paramedic registration, and all sorts on there. And you can put in all your allergies, any medications you're taking, anything like that.
Where did you go to register all that? Yeah, just all that time.
I see, yes. If I pass my helmet then, you've got one on yours, haven't you? Yeah.
It's the same.
It's the same as mine.
Just put something on the forum.
I think it costs 99p, doesn't it, to register it?
I was going to say, people do the green dots, some people put them on their visors, but
Yeah.
I put one on the visor and on the visor get ripped off.
Yeah. My ex-missus is a paramedic. She told me off for putting it on the back of my helmet because we actually look at the front when we. Typical Mrs. Miggins, wasn't it? Anything like that. They do dog tags as well. So you've got that barcode on the dog tag there because we'll rip anything out as you come up. So, yeah, but the green dot, I think they still do that down Danwells, don't they? You can get them in Danwells and everything. Yeah. Just a few little ideas just to help out if you're you're the actual casualty, and some bits and bobs if you're not the casualty. Did all of you see the Facebook thing we put in about ICE, the Panic app? That's a pretty good one. The police, the fire service and everything are all doing that one now. Everything you've done tonight is in a handy little you'll see that, handy little app, Panic, and it goes down in that order that we've just done. You can get it.
Yeah, right.
If you go straight to the App Store and go straight to the
Panic, did you say?
Panic, yeah. There's a link on it, yeah, but each one you can press, and it'll give you a little bit of information for each stage that you're going through. But yeah, it's got first aid tips there. There's also little videos on there of somebody actually doing it, and it'll give you a grid as well where you are. So when they ask you for the location, it'll come up.
No good at those hardcore messenger freaks, they get a message and
Yeah, that's all just little ideas for you, just to be thinking about if you're going to come across stuff like that. Here's a question for you. Same one as we did at the beginning. Now do you have any confidence to stop and help? You've done that job done. Yeah, job done. Even if one person just put their hand up there, then we know we've at least got another chance to help, haven't we? Open now, questions. Fire away.
One thing I thought you would mention, but you haven't, is traffic control.
Traffic control?
Because
yeah, I did it real briefly, didn't I? Yeah.
I think if you attend to the casualty, but you're going to get smacked by 70 miles an hour by an oncoming vehicle.
There was a part in there probably a bit too quick at the time, like if you have to move the patient, get them out, if it's on a road like that. That's another little tip you just reminded me, thank you. Carry a little high vis under your seat. I'll leave this one here actually as a little it's an Isle Man TT made it, this one. Put it on the wall.
Should have raffled it off.
Raffled it off. I think, no, this one hasn't got it. One had Guy Martin's blood on it.
So you said that somebody come off in the fast lane on the motorway and the bike is lying there and there's cars, it's rush hour. Just
again,
driving.
assess that situation. If it's too dangerous for you to run out there, you don't want to become a casualty yourself, really.
But if there's say like enough time for you to get dragging.
If there's enough time, dragging. But those cars going out there, you don't realise when you're actually on the motorway how quick they're going. If you're standing there. We've had ambulances taken out on the motorway, blue lights going, everything. So they still
the key for that one is just phone the police and let them know.
If I thought, I've got a picture of a motorcycle outrider, policeman, who comes off the slip road to stop the traffic, to let the ambulance come onto the motorway. And there's a woman driving, texting like that, and she, as she looks up, she hits the motorcyclist and takes him right across, and the ambulance hits in there. But, yeah. Good point. Yeah, just assess the scene. As I put your four ways on if you've got them on the bike. Work out if it's a bend, position it way down. If you're not going to wear it, put this on your bike. Get somebody else to put one on. As many of these as possible. We can spot you as well wearing one of these. I've got another one. I think I've got a spare one there somewhere. Oh yeah. There's a spare one. If I'll put it up in the air, shall I? Have a fight. You want the CT? Sorry? The website's on the back of my card, on the green dot. But the green dot, the last time I saw them, they were down in Damwells. If you go to some bike shops, they're still doing it.
Damwells are no longer.
They're no longer?
Not in Plymouth.
No, down.
I've got loads at home. I've got about 1,000.
Even if you go to a toy shop and get a little kids sticker pack and make up your own little card and stick in there and put the green dot, the lads will still find it on the cruise.
I made my own green dot.
Make sure it's green if you're colourblind. It's the one next to the yellow. Any more questions? Fire away. We're here for a few minutes afterwards anyway, so. Robin, where's Robin? Don't know what time he wants to close. We're here for a cup of tea and a few questions if you want. Well, I hope you've had some benefit out of that, lads. I've done it as trying, and lasses, try to get as much in a short time. If you do this course properly, it's like a 2-day, 3-day course. You get a proper qualification, but they do all the medical side of it as well. So you can use it at home should you need to. We've done it specifically for bikes tonight, just enough to try and help out, really. Thank you for listening. And for Darren's benefit, it should fart in there.
If we need to make
Thank you.
Excellent, cheers. Thank you.